Ripping this shit crank.
Conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermaine Buxio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermaine Buxio, streaming out of the crazy state of Minnesota, crime-filled city of Minneapolis. I should start saying every city is crime-filled right now. Even the suburbs. Gas is being stolen right and left. Crime right and left. You can't get around it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Help a brother out. All right? I need your help. As you guys know, they absolutely hate us. You know who they are. They are called liberals. Technocrats. They don't like me. They don't like you. And you know why? It's because we not boo-boo the fool. It's because, ladies and gentlemen, we like the truth. We are critical thinkers. Nowadays, that's hard to find. As a matter of fact, there was a Salon article that came out a while ago that was trying to shame critical thinkers. Can you guys believe that? Yeah. Shaming critical thinking. Shaming common sense thinking. This is what they were trying to do. And they're doing this, ladies and gentlemen, because they know once your brain start ticking, you'll get down to the truth. You'll know that there's some liars. Yeah, you'll know it real fast. So make sure you do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the folks on Facebook. I'm out of Facebook. Well, I'm not out of Facebook jail right now. I'm streaming on a back alley. Yeah, one of them back alleys I'm streaming on. So I'm not able to share like I can, just to let folks know. But we are on YouTube, Rumble, D Live, and Facebook. So make sure you guys share. Make sure you do. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get rocking. Let's get rocking, shall we? Absolutely. First one up, I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a woman charged in a crash that killed 2 Pennsylvania state troopers. This is a story that a lot of people are talking about right now. NCAA, well, not NCAA, NAACP, gosh darn it, too many letters. They don't want her to go to jail. She's a black woman. She didn't do nothing wrong. I want to go ahead and run this story. When I come back, I want to speak to you guys about it. 2 state troopers in Pennsylvania dead because a woman was playing games on social media. Take a look.
21-year-old Jayana Tanae Webb, charged with multiple felony counts of murder in the 3rd degree, homicide by motor vehicle while under the influence, and manslaughter in the deaths of Pennsylvania state troopers Martin Mack, Brandon Siska, and a pedestrian. The crash happened Monday around 1 o'clock in the morning on I-95 South near the stadiums.
Jana, did you drink that night?
Earlier today, Webb was escorted out of Troop K, wearing the handcuffs of the troopers she allegedly hit and killed while under the influence, with a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit, according to sources.
How much had you had to drink that night?
A Twitter page with the handle Tanae_J includes a post from January that reads, quote, "If you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver ever." Sources confirm investigators are looking into her social media. Social media accounts also include posts promoting her small hairstyling business and appear to highlight her past as a Norristown High School graduate and competitive track and field athlete.
Did you see those troopers?
Flowers placed at the barracks in honor of the fallen troopers. Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 5 shared links to GoFundMe pages for both families. Each has raised tens of thousands of dollars already. And the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association is warning tonight about scam calls, people soliciting money for the troopers' families, and they're reminding people tonight that they will never call and ask for donations over the phone. We have posted the legitimate fundraising links on our website, Fox 20.
What do you guys think about this? What a horrible case. Seriously, what a horrible case this is. Absolutely horrible. Man, Philadelphia got some ugly broads in here. I mean, take a look at this woman right here. Talk about ugly, right? Man, ugly. Ugly inside and out. And look at what she was posting online. Why the cop pull me and he say I'm doing 110 in a 50? And then she puts these crying emojis. Making fun. But she black though. She black. She black. These troopers here were just trying to do their job. And killed because she wanted to drink and drive and not care about the law or anybody else. And then the most dumbest tweet that she put out, if you ask me, I'm the best drunk ever. Best drunk driver ever. Excuse me. What a horrible woman. I hope she go to jail for life. I hope she does. And this is the main reason why there's so many harsh laws when it comes to drinking and driving. Because of this nonsense right here. You got too many folks who don't give a rip about who's on the road. Living her best life. And her best life ended up killing 2 state troopers. Both of them had families. And what's going to happen? Brothers, uncles, gone. It's such a terrible, terrible incident here. They're trying to make it seem like it's an accident. I'm not. This ain't no accident. She willfully put some alcohol to her lips. She willfully got into the vehicle. She even bragged while she was driving. All that constitute as a severe negligence, and she should get the book thrown at her. That's what I believe. It's not right at all for her to get any leniency on this. Shout out to John Lennon. Said, "Don't worry, Cory Booker to the rescue." You know, Cory Booker, what an idiot too. Yeah, he's he'll cape for any black woman doing the wrong thing. Cory Booker. Should have seen him earlier. Cory Hooker. He's hooking. Hit that like button. Make sure you guys share. All right? Make sure you share. I'm going to need your help. I want to go ahead and give a shout out. Special shout out to George Barnes. George Barnes donated. Let me go ahead and give him the customaries. Took our challenges 3 more folks for $10 challenge. Shout out to George Barnes. Now, looking at this here, let's go ahead and point out the obvious here before we move on. The obvious is she's a black woman. She killed 2 white state troopers. NAACP wants to try to get her off. Says that she didn't really mean to do it. Let's be honest here. If it was a white person who rammed and did something similar in a sense, NAACP and some other of these fools wouldn't be worried about it. But because she's black, because it goes against the narrative that they're trying to push in this country, these folks are all over it. I want this woman to fry. I want her to fry. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Because that is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get her off. They're trying to say that she didn't mean to do it and all. No. She certainly did. Moving forward. I want to go ahead and speak to you guys about a man in Florida who is, let me tell you something, in a whole heap of trouble. You guys remember that case in Philly where the guy was trying to rape a woman on a train, right? And he was trying to rape a woman in front of everybody on the train, and nobody did nothing. You guys remember that? I know you did. Yeah, I know you guys do. Well, this case is a little similar here. A man in Florida lifted up a woman's skirt and tried to rape her inside of a Walmart during the daytime in front of everybody. Customers heard the yells. Got him down on the floor, held him down until the police came. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy, ladies? I'm telling you, Biden's America. Take a look.
We have a safety alert this morning. New video showing the moments after a man allegedly tried to sexually attack a woman.
All of this happening in the middle of a Walmart. Local 10 Syra Anwar is live in Northwest Miami-Dade with more of the shocking footage. Syra.
Alexis and Eric, it is so disturbing. This woman was just shopping at this Walmart, according to police, when she got attacked. Two men managed to pull her attacker off of her. The moments after that, all caught on this disturbing cell phone video.
What? That is crazy. And where were like the security?
Walmart shoppers disturbed to find out a woman was sexually battered at the same store where they just finished shopping along Northwest 79th Street.
I don't even know what to say. I might have lost the words. Where's the protection? It's a shame. Because it's kids here that come here, families.
Miami-Dade officers arrested 28-year-old Braden Harvey Sunday night. According to his arrest form, the victim was shopping when she was attacked. Police say he approached her from behind, pulled her dress up, and then pushed her to the ground and assaulted her. Two witnesses saw what was happening and pulled Harvey off of the woman.
Sheridan Harvey.
Harvey was in bond court Monday. The judge notably unsettled.
This is pretty disturbing.
While mentioning that Harvey was already on probation when this happened.
No contact with the victim, either directly, indirectly, in person, in writing.
That's really unsafe. Like, I would come into a Walmart to grocery shop, and just for somebody to come up to me, not thinking that somebody's going to come up to me, you know, touching me, it's just scary as a female, too.
So the judge set Harvey's bond at $50,000. He's not allowed to come in contact with the victim, and he's not allowed to return to this Walmart. You can find more details on this just horrible attack. I have a link posted on my social media pages. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Syra WPLG. Reporting live in Northwest Miami-Dade, Syra Anwar, Local 10 News.
Ladies and gentlemen, ain't this about a Ain't this about a bit? Ain't this crazy? Inside a Walmart. Now the man was already on probation. Already on probation when he did this attack here. Ain't that crazy? Judge sets the bail, $50,000 bond. Why? $50,000 bond. Why? If you have to set a bond, why not make it $1 million? I'm just asking, why? That judge needs to be reprimanded. $50,000 bond for trying to rape a woman inside of a Walmart. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the last days. Makes no sense in the world. $50,000 bond for trying to rape a woman in Walmart. Crazy. It is. If you had to make a bond, why not make it $1 million? Or no bond at all. The guy's already on probation. Don't you think he'll probably commit another crime if he's already on probation? He's not following his probation. These people are not thinking. I don't know who's running the show there, but they're not thinking, and they are making our society a lot more dangerous. It's out of control. Shout out to Melanie Welch. Melanie Welch, let me go ahead and hook you up, sweetheart. There you go. There you go, sweetheart. There's your wrench. Ain't that crazy, though? $50,000 bond. You got to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You got to be. $1 million should be the bond. Crazy. Yeah, January 6th, defendants remain in jail with no bond. I know. Ain't that crazy? Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Now, in this Northwest Miami-Dade rape incident, they also said the man, which is dumb too, producers told me to say, the man basically, he cannot go back to the Walmart. He got a trespass order too. Ain't that dumb? And no contact with the victim. Shout out to the producer. Yep. No contact with the victim. And a trespass order on the Walmart. It's still not enough. Still not enough in my eyes. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Now, I want to show you guys this video that is gaining a lot of attention right now. A lot of attention. It deals with a South Carolina female cop. She is charged with manslaughter after falling on the floor during a chase and fatally shooting a suspect exiting the car. All right. Big story. I want you guys to take a look at this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Here we go. Make sure you share.
Central, he's running on me. We're headed down East Broad Street. We're going to be at
Now, let me go ahead and lower this a bit here, and I'm going to rewind it. For people who didn't get to see it here, let me go ahead and rewind it. And I'll show you where she shot the vehicle here. So she's chasing the vehicle right now. Vehicle crashes. Instead of her to wait for backup, I want folks to understand. Instead of her to have her guns drawn and wait for backup, she doesn't do that. Not a trained officer at all. It's just herself too. I want you guys to know that. She goes and pulls her weapon. I want people to see how crazy this is. Crashes. You would think that she would wait and have her gun drawn. Doesn't. Goes up to the vehicle. Ain't that crazy? Already she's in line for retraining. And then, like Humpty Dumpty had a big-ass great fall, just like she did. Bow. And then as soon as the guy comes out, right here, this is where she shoots the guy. And the guy falls down. Like Humpty Dumpty, she had a great fall. Let me tell you. She can hardly breathe. Ladies and gentlemen, they gotta be some sort of these cops gotta go to gotta be a weight limit.
Sir.
Bow, and she shot it. She shot it.
Sir, be still. Be still. What is in your hand, sir? What is that in your hand, sir? Be still, sir. I've got EMS coming. What is in your hand, sir? Show me your hand. You're still not showing me your hand, sir.
Killed him.
Sir, be still, sir. Just be still. I got help coming.
He had nothing. He had nothing. Bow. He had nothing. Killed him in cold blood. This is training wrong all the way through. Even if you watch Cops, right? If you watch the episode of Cops before, you know what she did wrong. It's just you. How the hell you just gonna run up to the door like that? That don't even make sense. That don't even make any damn sense. Like she Johnny Bravo or somebody. Outrageous. These cops, ladies and gentlemen, need to go on Weight Watchers or something. This is embarrassing to be a cop and be this big. Either you want to be Chef Boy RD or you want to be a cop. Which one? You can't be Chef Boy RD and a cop at the same time. It don't work. My goodness gracious. Cops need to go on a diet. Man, now let's go ahead and speak. Gotta go on a gosh darn diet. What's wrong with y'all? Cop big as hell. Let me go ahead and transition. Lord have mercy. Here's the officer here. Mrs. Humpty Dumpty. South Carolina officer didn't see a gun before fatal shooting. Dashboard camera shows a small-town police officer of South Carolina charged with fatal on-duty shooting of a man. Repeatedly told investigators and her boss that the man had something in his head, but she didn't know what it was. It was nothing. This black woman deserved to go to hell for this. I got to read a little bit of this here. What she's smiling. She about to go to jail. A town police officer in South Carolina charged with a fatal on-duty shooting of a man after a 5-minute car chase, repeatedly told investigators and her boss that the man had something in his hand, but she did not know what it was, according to the dashboard camera footage. The camera also captured the shooting, showing Hemingway, police officer Dollar, working alone, slipped and fell in a muddy ditch as she approached the man's car as he tried to get out of the passenger door. Dollard ordered him to stay in the car, then fired one shot at close range while sitting as he got out, according to the dashboard camera footage released by state agents late Monday as a part of Freedom of Information Act request. And it says, I'm trying to get up and I'm telling him, don't come out of the car. And he kept coming out of the car. So I fired one shot, just like a woman. But I thought I saw something in his hands, Dollar said in a phone call to her police chief about 50 minutes after the shooting, captured by the microphone connected to the dashboard camera. She paused for a few seconds before adding, Lord have mercy. Dollar, who fired the shooting, is charged with voluntary manslaughter and faces 2 to 30 years in prison if convicted. And it says Robert Jr. Langley was shot in the chest and died a short time after the shooting. And I want to go ahead and just read what it says right here. Lawyers for Langley family said that Dollars fired the deadly shot. The blame for his death is shared by poor training from Hemingway police and poor oversight from the state academy that trains all officers. So there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. This is poor training through and through. She shouldn't be a police officer. And like I've said, various times, when it comes down to on the beat police officers, women shouldn't be doing that job. I don't care who get mad at me, because this type of stuff will always happen. A woman will go to her equalizer, which will be a gun. A woman cannot take a grown man head on. Women fear to get their face screwed up, right? Because when you get into a fight, right? Ladies, you know that when you get into a fight with a guy, guys like to punch at the face. Yeah, you don't want to get a broken cheekbone, busted up nose, busted up lip, right? Women don't like stuff like that. So what a woman will do, she gets scared. Oh my gosh, I might get a broken face. He might bust up my lip. You know what she does? She know the taser ain't gonna stop a grown man from whooping her ass. But you know what will stop a grown man? A gosh darn gun. A gosh darn gun will stop a grown man from whooping her ass. She knows this. That's why women rely on it. That's why most of the time they have to have a partner. And even if it's two women, even the two women are scared. If women are going to be in this position, they have to be able to fight a grown man. They have to be able to fight a grown man one-on-one. If she's not able to do that, she does not belong in that position. That needs to be a requirement. All this, this foo-foo requirements that are going on where you're trying to appease women, right? Because you're not trying to look sexist and all that is at a detriment to everybody else. You weaken the police force. You make the citizens in danger because there's somebody not adequate in that position to be there. And I want the ladies to understand, strength is everything. You better believe it. In the Army, the ones that move up the fastest ain't the smartest. I want the women to understand this. The guys know what I'm talking about. The people who move in the Army the fastest, move up in rank the fastest, are the brutes. The ones who can run fastest. The ones who can do the most push-ups. The strongest of the strong moved up. I want folks to understand this. Because when it comes down to it, you're going to need a brute in the field over an intellectual. Right? The intellectuals, we call them officers. They can't do shit. You go ahead and speak to enlisted men. The enlisted men respect the enlisted men more than the officers. The officers are running around trying to ask the enlisted men what to do. So being strong in these fields is everything. I want folks to understand that. It is every gosh darn thing. That's why you need to have people in that position who are able to deal with this type of danger, and they're not going to be making these type of moves where you're scared that you might get your face hit. You're scared to get into a physical confrontation. That's what it comes down to, and I want folks to understand this. I'm straight up. I'm real. That's what it come down to. She should have waited for backup. Her running like Humpty Dumpty like this. Look, this is the way she was running. Humpty Dumpty. And then she had a great fall. I can tell you that. It was a fantastic fall. She fell so hard, ladies and gentlemen, my gosh darn seat was shaking like this. I was like, man, holy smokes. Gotta check the Richter scale. So that's what it is. She deserved to go to jail. Jail. I mean, she did everything wrong. Her nickname should be Officer Wrong, because everything she was doing was wrong. Let me tell you, everything she was doing was wrong. Let's go ahead and move forward. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. All right, that is the only way we can get seen here. Make sure you share. Moving forward. And before I do that here, I got a buzz here. Somebody doing that here. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Robert Marvin. Robert Marvin, my guy, donated, took our $10 challenge on Cash App. Shout out to Robert Marvin. Shout out to you, brother. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to speak about Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels, ladies and gentlemen, ordered to pay a huge amount to Trump, $300,000. She says she's willing to go to jail before paying Trump. Man, I'm telling you, she probably gonna go to jail. Nah, she ain't gonna go to jail, but I wish she would. I want to go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to speak to you guys about some horror problems. This is some really whorish problems right now. How's she gonna get out of it? You know, dropping to her knees ain't gonna get her out of this debt. Take a look.
Stormy Daniels has been ordered to pay a huge amount to Trump. Thanks for watching Next News Network. I'm Ivory Hecker, filling in from my YouTube. That's Ivory Hecker on YouTube. Before I get to this report, if you are new here, hit that red button down below to subscribe, then tap the notification bell so you're the first to know when the latest news is published. Well, Stormy Daniels, the porn star who allegedly had an affair with former President Trump, tasted the swift sword of justice this week. A judge ordered the stripper to pay up for her years-long lawsuits against the former president, and the bill she racked up is huge. Amanda Prestigiacomo from the Daily Wire reports that porn star Stormy Daniels, real name Stephanie Clifford, has been ordered to pay $300,000 in attorney's fees to former President Donald Trump in a federal appeals court ruled Friday. The U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit said that it had no jurisdiction over Daniels' appeal of the attorney's fees issue before she failed to file a notice of appeal within a 30-day deadline of a federal judge granting the fees to Trump. CNBC reported that on Tuesday. They went on to say that the appeals court also said that the same judge had properly included another $1,000 in sanctions against Daniels in the same judgment that awarded Trump attorney's fees. Take a listen.
And a likely end to a lengthy legal battle. A federal appeals court is ordering Stormy Daniels to pay President Trump's attorney's fees worth nearly $300,000. The courtroom feud stems from Daniels' failed defamation suit against the former president, where she claimed the two were intimate back in 2006. Trump denies the allegations and called the new ruling a victory for him.
Trump lawyer Harmeet Dillon responded to the news Monday night, quote, "It was an honor for my team to represent President Trump in this successful Ninth Circuit ruling," she tweeted, quote, "onward." Dillon also confirmed to the reporter Megan Cuniff that, quote, "Daniels owes Trump $292,000 in attorney's fees," adding that the lawsuit was, quote, "published so aggressively by Michael Avenatti for purposes that certainly did not benefit his client." The former president issued a statement Monday night celebrating the victory. Quote, "The Ninth Circuit just issued a final ruling in the Stephanie Clifford, aka Stormy Daniels, frivolous lawsuit case against me brought by her disgraced lawyer Michael Avenatti, upholding the lower court ruling that she owes me nearly $300,000 in attorney's fees, costs, and sanctions, not including appeal costs," the statement said. Trump went on to say, quote, "As I have stated many times throughout the years, I never had an affair with Stormy Daniels, nor would I ever have wanted to. The ruling was a total and complete victory and vindication for and of me. 300,000. The lawsuit was a purely political stunt that never should have been started or allowed to happen, and I am pleased that my lawyers were able to bring it to a successful conclusion after the court fully rejected her appeal."
Bow, and I want to stop it right there. So, Stormy Daniels. Stormy. That whore's in trouble right now. See, sometimes it don't pay to be a whore. It really don't. She went and said some stuff that was pretty damaging against Trump because, you know, she was paid off by liberals. She was getting fame and attention by liberals. She said stuff that was untrue. It was found out to be untrue. Michael Avenatti, her damn lawyer, went to jail. That's how crooked he is. And look at herself now. Got to pay $300,000. And she claims, I'll go to jail first before I ever pay Trump anything. I doubt Trump will ever see that money. But at least he got a victory on her ass. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when Trump was running for office, there was a tune of 17 women who came forward who said Trump sexually assaulted them. You guys remember that, right? I know you guys did. 17 women. As a matter of fact, Hillary Clinton trotted all these whores out. Absolutely. Remember, she had some press conference and she trotted all the whores out? Kind of like, horses at a show stable. You get what I'm saying? The horse is about to go and do a show. Go ahead, pony. Go ahead and turn around. Let's see how you trot. That's the way Hillary Clinton was doing it. Come to find out, everything that these women were saying was a lie. Not one of them. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, not one out of 17 was true. How evil is that? Not one. And then these fools try to play the same game with Kavanaugh. Made up the most egregious lie there could be. He raped me with some guys. Come to find out, a supreme lie. These type of victories need to start happening across the board. Because what it does is it shuts up attention-seeking whores. That's what it does. Women out there, you know women love attention, don't you, women? You love attention. Yeah, you do. You love attention. And we need to be abreast about that, right? Especially liberal women. Liberal women love attention. And they'll try to get attention by any means possible. If they got to sit there and say that, hey, I gave such and such a blowjob yesterday, they will say it, knowing that it's a lie, so that they can ruin your chances at a career or some sort of job that you're trying to get. It's the most evilest thing in the world. But these women do it. And like I've said, women out there, you got to start paying attention to these type of women who are doing this, because what they're doing is they are setting a precedence in this culture. You don't want to be known, women to be known as, they'll say anything for attention, right? They'll make up a lie. If you go ahead and speak to most guys are scared about women. They don't know if they're going to make up a lie if they're in a room with them alone. They're not sure about certain things, and it shouldn't be like this. So we need good women to stand up and start pointing out these whores. Don't let these whores back you up. You just seen this whore, she fell. Busted up her knees. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? We definitely gonna need your help. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the beautiful Kim Upfold. Kim Upfold took our challenge here. Says, thank you for giving us a great show last time. Great show. Shout out to Kim Upfold. Let me go ahead and give you the custom. Hercules. Absolutely. Shout out to Kim Upfold. She needs to pay. She does. I know she ain't going to pay, but she needs to pay. Stormy Daniels, how the whores have fallen. You know? Shout out to Kelly Land. Skin knee Stormy. You know it. You know it. She can't drop on her knees and get rid of this bill. It ain't one of them bills where she can get rid of. You get what I'm saying? It ain't one of them. Usually she's able to get out of bills like this. She'll drop to her knees, you know, do the splits, you know, do something strange for a piece of change. But nah, this one she can't get out of. Nope. Too bad. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor, hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up. I want to go ahead here and speak to you guys about Ketanji Brown Jackson. Let me tell you something. The media right now is going crazy for her. She's quote unquote historic. Now, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to and somebody just wrote something here. Sinjay Williams. Sinjay Williams spoke about what Tatum said. And what Tatum said was correct. You know, Barack Obama had 3 times to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court. And he did not do that. Nobody called him racist. The Republicans are trying to vet Ketanji Brown. They're calling the Republicans racist because they're vetting the stuff that she's doing. Republicans, had you have vetted Barack Obama like this, right? When Barack Obama was running, and y'all, you seen all the BS in his background, y'all should have did the same exact thing. Right? Yeah. You see how the Republicans don't care about how black she is now. They should have did the same exact thing with Barack Obama. Him and his magic legs tap dancing. They should have stopped him and really vetted him. And really asked the tough questions before he got a Democrat nomination and him running off. He should have been really vetted with tough questions. But no, Republicans didn't do that. They were scared. Racism. Take a look at this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley has a question for Ketanji Brown Jackson. He wants to know why she refuses to answer a basic question on the record of pedophile leniency she has. Take a look.
Why isn't it rational to sentence people who have thousands of images on a computer to more time as opposed to somebody who has 1 or 2 pictures in the mail? In other words, the more images there are, why wouldn't you want to sentence that person to more time rather than less? Why isn't that rational?
Senator, I've answered this question, and I'll stand on what I already answered.
So, but your answer is what? I mean, refresh my memory.
Senator, I've answered this question. I've explained how the guidelines work, and I'll stand on my answer.
But the guidelines are not mandatory. I wish they were, but they're not. The Supreme Court made that determination. I'm trying to understand why you think it's rational not to sentence criminals based on the number of images they have. You say that this is a policy disagreement that you have with the guidelines. This gets to the core of your judicial philosophy. You served on the Sentencing Commission, where you recommended changes to the guidelines based in part on this policy disagreement. So I think it's relevant and indeed vital we understand what the policy disagreement is. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Senator, I previously explained what the policy disagreement is, and I will stand on my answer.
So you're not going to answer my question?
No, I've answered your question in my answer.
You haven't answered my question. I'm sitting here asking you, and you're declining to answer.
There you go. Josh Hawley from Holly Grove, Missouri. Asking the tough questions. Asking the tough questions, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to get an answer from her. He's not at all. She's a black woman. I want folks to understand that. Her blackness got everything to do with it. He said, just help me out. Just get me an answer. She gave you an answer. She ain't going to answer it. She knows that she only needs to do minimal participation in this. She knows that the liberals will shoo her in. Which one of these Democrats is not going to vote for her? Right? In this quote unquote historic moment. They all will. So she knows she's going to get in with flying colors. She knows this. So she's going to do the minimal question answering. She's going to, give her a little shoddy answer and move on. Liberals today were acting like Josh Hawley did something wrong. As a matter of fact, they were acting like he was bullying her. Him and Ted Cruz. The blacks on MSNBC started attacking the GOP. See, that's something that Democrats do now. Once Democrats find that, white Republicans are scared about something, they use it. They know that anytime they want to push something, they use somebody black. They know that when Republicans attack that black person, they can turn around and say that Republicans being insensitive. They're being racist. Because it works for them. I want you guys to take a look at this here. First one up here I want to show you. They're trying to say that Ketanji Brown Jackson was being harassed. I want you guys to take a look at this.
Judge Jackson. Joining me now to talk about this second day of confirmation hearings for the very good, very gracious, very poised Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson and the very good man, Senator Cory Booker, just wrapping it up, thank God, on an up note. Joining me now, former federal prosecutor Paul Butler and former U.S. Attorney Harry Litman. Harry, I've been looking at your tweets. I've been sitting here watching what you've been tweeting. I want to let you give us what you thought of today.
Today was solid for her, but this last hour, I think was I'm a little reeling from, sort of an emotional reaction, but I think it's the best hour I've ever seen in a confirmation hearing. She took Cotton's totally nasty and foolish, really, line of questioning and clobbered him with perfect temperament. And then this back and forth with Booker, I found it completely genuine, moving, dignified, emotional. I really think it's the best hour I've ever seen on both sides of the aisle any nominee have. And I've been watching these a while.
I have to agree with you. I agree. And I'm not an expert like you are, Harry, but I agree. And the word I would use for Tom Cotton was thuggish. I thought he was thuggish.
Bully,
that's what I'm going to go with.
Cretin.
Yeah. Thuggish. I mean, I want to go.
Bow. I want you guys to think about something here. She called a white man thuggish. He was acting thuggish. Imagine if a white talk show host, called a black sitting senator, referred to their behavior as thuggish, or just calling them a thug. How well do you think that would have went? I want folks to understand, how well do you think it would have went? I could tell you, not well at all. As a matter of fact, they would have said that white person is being racist, referring to a black person as a thug. But yet, once more again, we are living in the double standard world of blacks and liberals, where she's able to call a white man a thug and nothing happens. Ain't it nice to be black? Ain't it?
To you, Paul. These men thought of themselves as prosecutors today, but Tom Cotton didn't understand that there's not a named victim in a crime. There's no one she would contact. I thought that was embarrassing. I thought Lindsey Graham was screamy and weird. I mean, it was a bravura performance. Josh Hawley, ridiculous. But your thoughts?
There you go. And I'm going to stop it right there. So that's Joy Reid. She got her lion mane on. Look at her. Looking like Scar, right? Yeah, don't she look like Scar? Yeah, big ass lion mane on. So that's one of the clips there of them bashing Republicans, calling them racist. I want you guys to take a look at another one. They're saying the questioning of Ketanji Brown Jackson is structural racism. Take a look.
If you've watched even a few minutes of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation hearings this week, you've likely noticed it. And by it, I mean structural racism and sexism. That's the thing that's woven into our society.
Structural racism
that even a black woman
and
being considered for a seat on the highest.
Structural racism and sexism. Men, you better stop dating these black liberal women and liberal women in general. What kind of bullshit is this? Structural racism and sexism. You cannot win with these folks. Going for it.
This bench in the country is still experiencing it. Today, on the fourth and final day of Judge Jackson's confirmation hearings, we heard from outside witnesses. The one that stood out the most in the theme of being a black woman and facing far more impossible standards than those who have come before her is Congresswoman Joyce Beatty's opening statement.
Judge Jackson would be only the sixth woman and the first black woman to serve on our nation's highest court. If confirmed, she would shatter a glass ceiling that many Americans, including those who fought and died for voting rights, a more perfect union, and a just America, believe that they would never live to see it broken.
And we can't forget Senator Cory Booker's moving comments on Wednesday that even brought Judge Jackson to tears.
You got here how every black woman in America who's gotten anywhere has done. By being, like Ginger Rogers said, I did everything Fred Astaire did, but backwards in heels. And so I'm just sitting here saying, nobody's stealing my joy. Nobody's going to make me angry. You're a person that is so much more than your race and gender. You're a Christian, you're a mom, you're an intellect, you love books. But for me, I'm sorry, it's hard for me not to look at you and not see my mom. You have earned this spot. You are worthy. You are a great American.
Wow.
That, right there, was Senator Booking making space for Judge Jackson to be human. And I'll tell you right now, every black woman appreciated that.
To be human. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear this? Making space for her to be human. My goodness gracious. I thought Ketanji Brown Jackson was a doggy. I didn't know she was human. These people are out of their mind. OMG. They seriously out of their mind. And then leave it to Cory Booker to racialize the whole process. I cannot stop just to think about you and look. You look like my mama. My mama? Did I tell you? Beta guys bringing up their mama. Right? Racializing the whole thing. You see, you're black. You had to do it 1,000 times harder. 1,000,000 times harder than that white man. As a matter of fact, you had to go through 10 jungles. You had to fight 10 bears. You had to swing over 10 volcanoes. Yeah. In hills. Of all things, let me tell you, of hills. Yes, you've earned your spot. You've earned your spot. Yes, you have. You earned it. You earned it. Right? Racializing the emotions, crying, everything in the world. Everything in the world except for her gosh darn record and what she's done. You know, liberals speak about everything in the world. See, Ketanji, she has a black dog. I just want to let everybody know. Ketanji, we're just trying to humanize her. She has a dog. I believe you brush with Crest, right? Is it Crest? Yeah, she brushes with Crest. Yeah, Crest toothpaste. She really does. I mean, my goodness gracious. Man, what a woman. That's the way they are doing it. Ain't that crazy? Right? That's the way liberals try to push their things in. It's always through emotion. There's no logic behind it. It's just she's a black woman. She's black. Oh, you know, you work so hard, blah, blah, blah. You deserve it. I mean, it's just dumb stuff. It's like mama's running the show. Dumb. But that's what it is. So I wanted to show you guys this. These people are crazy. They are. Next one up. I want to speak to you guys about the Kremlin spokesperson. He was on CNN with Christian Amanpour. And this Kremlin spokesperson speaks about Putin's strategy and what they plan to achieve in Ukraine. Christian Amanpour tries to push back a little bit. She's using her information from the liberal leftists. So everything you're hearing is coming from the liberal leftists. And she's quite taken back when the Kremlin spokesperson doesn't agree with her on how the war is going. She's surprised. I want you guys to take a look at this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Make sure you share.
You know, we're, as I said, nearly 4 weeks into this war. You, by all intelligence, I guess, you know, experts, are somewhat stalled, certainly around Kyiv and in other parts. There seems to be low morale amongst your troops. There seems to be equipment breakdowns and command and control issues. My first question is, what does President Putin think he has achieved in Ukraine to date?
Well, first of all, not yet. He hasn't achieved yet, and we're speaking about special military operation that is going on, and it is going on strictly in accordance with the plans and with purposes that were established beforehand. And of course, well, first of all, I think we have to speak about the reasons for this operation. I mean, because speaking about the morale against our amongst our military, of course, you operate data and information coming from different media and from your intelligence, but you would probably have to doubt this information. You have to doubt it, and you have to think twice whether it is true or not.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Peskov. You know, intelligence that really predicted the invasion turned out to be true, despite what you all told us, you know, from the Kremlin. So let's just get past that. We've also heard, you know, civilians and journalists who've seen Russian troops and who've recounted. But that's be that as it may. When you say he hasn't achieved, President Putin hasn't achieved yet, what do you foresee? Because this was going to be, according to your own side, in the press, in the state-sponsored media in Russia, a pretty quick operation. It was even suggested that, you know, within a couple of days that, quote-unquote, Ukraine would return to, quote-unquote, Mother Russia. What has gone wrong, and what do you see for the next phase of this?
Well, of course, no one would think from the very beginning about a couple of days. It's a serious operation with serious purposes. And I think if we try to remember those purposes, those main goals of the operation, it's to get rid of the military potential of Ukraine. And actually, this is why our military are targeting only military goals and military objects on the territory of Ukraine, not civil ones. Russian military are not hitting civil aims, civil targets. Number two is to ensure that Ukraine changes from entire Russian center to a neutral country. And in this sense, let's remember that after the collapse of the Soviet Union, actually the neutral status was fixed in a declaration of independence of the country. Number three, to get rid of the nationalist battalions and nationalist regiments who are now opposing Russian troops, who are now trying to cover themselves under the shield of civilians, thus paving a way for civil casualties.
Dmitry,
and also, I beg your pardon, if you let me, and also to ensure that Ukraine acknowledges the fact that Crimea is also an untakeable part of Russia, and that People's Republics of Lugansk and Donetsk are already independent states, that Ukraine actually has lost them after the coup that happened in 2014.
Okay, so basically you are putting and laying out the original demands from President Putin, which I understand seem not to have changed. Let us talk about civilian infrastructure. Look, I know you guys say that you're not targeting civilians, and you've just told me it was a special military operation, which is, I know, what the Kremlin military censorship demands. It is a war and it is an invasion, and we're all watching it all over global television, no matter what you tell your own people. There are so many civilian targets that it's hard to count them right now. And you know, you may deny it, but even the Chinese, Dmitry, even the Chinese who are your friends, have expressed a very, very deep concern about civilian targets. Let me just read what the Foreign Ministry has said. It is deeply grieved to see the conflict between Ukraine and Russia and highly concerned about the damage done to civilians. They are very, very concerned. Those are your friends, the Chinese, not weirdo journalists or anybody who's actually watching it with their own eyes and can tell the truth. So the real question is, what is President Putin's strategic goal in blasting the civilian infrastructure of places like Mariupol, which we are watching turn to smithereens for the last several weeks now? What's the strategic goal?
Well, the strategic goal is to clear up the Mariupol from nationalistic regiments who are there in a heavily covered environment. And by the way, they're simply not letting people out from the city, from the town. And this is a problem because now we're receiving lots of refugees coming from there. And they simply tell us, they're eyewitnesses. They simply tell us that they were used like a shield. They were used under heavy bombardment, and then those nationalists, they were killing people who would want to leave the city. And now the main goal is to get rid of those bad guys there.
Dmitry, we also have reporters who are quite close to Mariupol, and they are watching because actually some civilians are getting out right now. And they obviously tell a completely different story, that they have been prevented from getting out. And we know that any attempt to establish any kind of humanitarian corridor has collapsed under the weight of Russian shelling, even when you give assurances. There is no food going in, and your own defense ministry said these last few days that only if Mariupol surrenders will they allow food, water, medicine to go in there. I've covered a siege, probably the longest in modern history, the siege of Sarajevo. So I know the playbook very, very well.
You guys get the drift, right? You guys get the drift about what's going on. Sheridan Amanpour. She's using information from the left here, mainstream media. Dmitry Peskov, he is saying that the Ukrainian soldiers are using civilians as shields, right? They are saying this. They are also saying a whole bunch of other stuff here. Apparently, this operational pause that's going on is part of the plan. Remember I told you nobody knows what Putin is doing? Everybody tries to know what he's doing. They don't know. They don't know at all. And with all this information that's coming out here, you're starting to see the chips fall. You're starting to see it. If Ukraine was winning the war, they wouldn't be sitting here begging like some $2 whores for some more money, ammunition, planes, and whatever else that they're crying about. They are losing, and it's not being told. Sheridan Amanpour don't even speak about what happened in 2014. Skipped over it when the guy even brought up the coup that happened. She hurried up and skipped over that real quick. She didn't want to speak about that. These are the same folks that refuse to tell us about the biolabs. So you have to take a lot of the information is on both sides, to be honest, with a grain of salt right now, even the Russians, because they're going to hide the death toll of their troops, right? They're going to say it's lower than what it is. When it comes to certain objectives, they're not going to be very honest about it. And it wouldn't be, in a sense, how can I say, it wouldn't be smart for them to be on TV discussing what their true objectives are. It wouldn't be smart. That'd be dumb. So we shall see. We shall see. And shout out to Katie Walker. It says, once civilians take up arms, they are no longer mere civilians. That's what it is. The media don't want to speak about that either. They leave out that part because it's easier to victimize the civilians, even the ones who are fighting. Once you pick up a weapon, you are enemy combatant. That's what it is. Media is not being honest. Not at all. So I wanted to show you guys this so you guys can see what the heck is going on. The Azov brigade that's over there, still fighting, still being supplied, still going after the Russians. So we have a lot of information to pick through in this war here. A lot of it is BS, but we have to make sure we vet a lot of the information coming out. That is the only way we can get to the truth. So I wanted to make sure you guys seen that. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right. And that is the show. That is the show. I want to thank everybody and their mamas for coming out here, hitting that like button. Everybody for sharing. I shall be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central. Come and hang out with me. It shall be a very, very good time. I want to thank everybody for hitting that like button, sharing, and donating. I really do. Absolutely. 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 So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I am outie. You guys have a fantastic night, and I'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys take care. Love ya, and goodbye.